Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Urdu Seekhi. I'm your host, Shireen, and this is episode number 16. Today, I'm joined by Alessia, all the way from Italy. I am just loving the collaborations I get to be a part of because of Urdu Seekhi, and even more, the various countries in which the Urdu Seekhi community resides. Please keep your emails and voice messages coming. So welcome to Urdu Seekhi, Alessia. Would you like to share with us why you're learning Urdu?
Sure.
आप उर्दू क्यों सीख रही हैं?
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. The reason I'm learning Urdu is because I love languages. I already speak several, and I happen to have a man in my life who also speaks Urdu. So I'm motivated to learn for this reason. मुझे उर्दू एक बहुत खूबसूरत ज़बान लगती है.
मुझे भी. And it's always a nice motivator to have a person available to practice along with. Okay, well, with that, let's jump into today's dialogue. Alessia, what's the topic that you have selected for today?
Well, as you may know, some cultures are well known for being late. Those in South Asia and Italy are among them, definitely. Obviously, it's not true for all people from those regions, but if you happen to make plans with an Indian, Pakistani, or an Italian, don't be surprised if they show up annoyingly late.
You know, that reminds me of a story a friend of mine recently told me. Her brother married a Nepali woman, and every event that they had for their wedding, this friend of mine would just show up on time. And then she quickly discovered that nothing starts on time for them. So she's still adjusting to that culture, but she now doesn't show up to anything on time.
Oh, so this friend of mine who speaks Urdu, he is also always incredibly late. This is why I thought today we would have a dialogue with useful phrases for how to talk to those kinds of people. By the way, Shireen, you are South Asian. Are you also late to things?
That is a fair question, but not at all. It is a huge pet peeve of mine to be late. I do not like keeping people waiting, so I wouldn't want anyone waiting on me. So I'm pretty punctual. How about you?
Oh, मैं भी वक्त की पाबंद हूँ.
Ah, there is our first very useful phrase. What does मैं भी वक्त की पाबंद हूँ mean?
Well, let's first listen to our dialogue and we'll discuss the meaning when we get to part 3. How about that?
Sounds good. So in part 1, we'll let you hear the dialogue at the conversational speed, and then we'll repeat it slowly.
And in part 2, we'll translate each line. Feel free to repeat it as many times as you need. Let's hear the dialogue now. इतनी देर क्यों लग गई?
तुम्हें तो पता है मेरी आदत.
मैं तुम्हारा 1.5 घंटे से इंतजार कर रही हूँ. फिल्म कब की शुरू हो गई?
अगले शो में चले जाएंगे.
तुम इतनी देर थी कहाँ?
घर पे. मुझे कौन से कपड़े पहनने चाहिए वो समझ में नहीं आ रहा था.
तुम कभी नहीं सुधरोगी. इतनी देर क्यों लग गई?
तुम्हें तो पता है मेरी आदत.
मैं तुम्हारा 1.5 घंटे से इंतजार कर रही हूँ. फिल्म कब की शुरू हो गई?
अगले शो में चले जाएंगे.
तुम इतनी देर थी कहाँ?
घर पे. मुझे कौन से कपड़े पहनने चाहिए वो समझ में नहीं आ रहा था.
तुम कभी नहीं सुधरोगी.
इतनी देर क्यों लग गई?
Why did it take you so long?
तुम्हें तो पता है मेरी आदत.
You know my habit.
मैं तुम्हारा 1.5 घंटे से इंतजार कर रही हूँ. फिल्म कब की शुरू हो गई?
I have been waiting for you for an hour and a half. The movie started so long ago.
अगले शो में चले जाएंगे.
We will go in the next showing.
तुम इतनी देर थी कहाँ?
Where were you all this time?
घर पे. मुझे कौन से कपड़े पहनने चाहिए वो समझ में नहीं आ रहा था.
At home, I could not figure out what clothes to wear.
तुम कभी नहीं सुधरोगी.
You will never change.
So now for part 3, where we discuss each line in more detail. Our first line was, इतनी देर क्यों लग गई? The word itni means this much. Let's say we're talking about sugar. So if I asked you, kitni chini chahiye? You might take a spoon and fill it halfway and show it to me and say, itni, indicating this much.
Right, but in this sentence, we are talking about der. Der means delay or late. So I'm asking the reason for this much delay. Let's skip to the verb lagna for a second. In episode 5, we had asked the question, आपको कितनी देर लगती है दफ्तर पहुंचने में? आपको कितनी देर लगती है दफ्तर पहुंचने में? Which means, how long does it take you to get to work?
And in that episode, we said that lagna means it takes, as in, how long does it take to get to work? Or in this case, why did it take so long? So in episode 5, we said that 2 things must be present in order for lagna to mean it takes. And what are those 2 things, Alessia?
Well, first, the concept of time needs to be present. That's brought in by itni der. And second, one other verb other than lagna needs to be present. Our other verb is gai, which is the simple past of the verb jana, meaning to go.
Exactly. So, itni der kyun lag gayi means, why did it take so long? We know that it's in the past because of gai.
Shireen, what if I wanted to simply say, you're late? How would I say that? Actually, I am going to try and say it.
Sure.
I would say, तुमने देर कर दी?
So, that's not wrong, but in my head, it doesn't fit this context. Also, तुमने देर कर दी is what I would say when I mean to say, you're too late. Like, I just arrived at the hospital for a birth of a child, and I was too late. Like, I missed the main event. So then you might say, तुमने देर कर दी.
Oh, I see. So then, how would I say, you're late? Because I really need it.
So in this context, because see, in English we say you're late, and you would say it with like that anger in your voice, and it just communicates so much to the other person. But in Urdu, if I say, so you're late in Urdu is तुम्हें देर हो गई. But like it doesn't communicate everything that this message in English communicates, right? So like even if I were angry and I'd say तुम्हें देर हो गई, like it doesn't relate that message. But maybe if I say तुम्हें दोबारा देर हो गई, तुम्हें दोबारा देर हो गई. So that word दोबारा makes all the difference. Do you know what it means?
Yeah, it means again. So, तुम्हें दोबारा देर हो गई means you're late again.
Exactly. And that, again, that word dobara, said in the right way, lets the person know, like, uh-oh, you're in trouble.
Okay, got it. Yeah, pretty useful. So, moving on. Then Shireen gives a rather passive-aggressive response. तुम्हें तो पता है मेरी आदत. This is a simple enough sentence. तुम्हें means you. To here is like a filler word. It's not really necessary, right?
Exactly. It's used to emphasize the word you. It's kind of like saying, come on, why are you even asking me this question? You especially know. Like you specifically know my habit.
Oh, okay, I see. And pata means know. Meri adat means my habit. So, तुम्हें तो पता है मेरी आदत means you know my habit, with an emphasis on you.
That's right. And instead of feeling remorse and apologizing, which is what I would do in real life, I'm all like, you know how it is.
Which is totally something my friend would say. So let's move on to the next line. मैं तुम्हारा देर घंटे से इंतजार कर रही हूँ. फिल्म कब की शुरू हो गई? So देर घंटे means an hour and a half. Se here means for. Intezar karna means to wait. And rahi hun indicates the tense present perfect continuous. So it means have been waiting. Main means I and tumhara means yours.
So मैं तुम्हारा 1.5 घंटे से इंतजार कर रही हूँ means I have been waiting for you for an hour and a half. Then she says, film कब की शुरू हो गई? So again, we see the verb gai, which indicates the past. When you use the words कब की, you're trying to say that you missed it by a good amount of time.
Exactly. If I say bus kab ki chale gayi, then I'm saying the bus left a while ago. Similarly, film kab ki shuru ho gayi means the movie started a while ago. And in keeping with her unapologetic self, Shireen responds, Agle show mein chale jayenge.
Yes, and that means we'll go to the next showing. Agle means next. Because the word show is masculine plural, we use agle. If I wanted to say next time, how would I say that, Alessia?
You can either say agli bar or agli dafa, and they both mean next time. Both bar and dafa are feminine. That's why you use agli.
Exactly. So returning back to agle show mein chale jayenge. Mein is the postposition, meaning in, and chale jana means to go. And the enge ending indicates future tense. So chale jayenge means we will go. On the handout, I will conjugate chale jana for all the pronouns, so be sure to download that.
Okay, after agle show mein chale jayenge, I respond, tum itni der thi kahan. So this is repeating the first line, but in a different way. Tum means you. Itni der, we said, means this much delay or this much time. Thi means where, and it's our to be verb. And kaha means where. I'm asking, where were you all this time?
Right, and we're usually going to emphasize the thi. We even do so in English, right? It's where were you this whole time? So if you're talking to a woman, you would say, Tum itni der thi kahan? But Alessia, since you're going to be talking to your male friend, what would you ask him?
Tum itni der the kahan?
That's exactly right. Then we move again to my nonchalant response, घर पे, which means at home. कौन से कपड़े पहनने चाहिए? This means which clothes I should wear. कौन से means which. कपड़े means clothes. पहनना is our verb, and it means to wear. चाहिए here means should. पहनने चाहिए together means should wear. Then we have वो समझ में नहीं आ रहा था. When you say समझ में नहीं आ रहा, then you're saying that you can't figure it out or you don't understand it. वो समझ में नहीं आ रहा था means I couldn't figure it out.
Right. And what is it that she couldn't figure out? कौन से कपड़े पहनने चाहिए? What clothes she should wear.
Exactly. That is why I was late. मुझे कौन से कपड़े पहनने चाहिए वो समझ में नहीं आ रहा था. Oh man, I'd be furious if someone gave me that as a reason for being late. I'm hoping your friend doesn't provide such ridiculous reasons.
No, they're not that ridiculous, but they're not too far away from it. I got used to any kind of answers. Missed the train, I was taking a shower. And here comes a very useful sentence as I respond, Tum kabhi nahi sudrogi. Kabhi nahi together means never. And sudro comes from the verb sudharna, which doesn't have a direct translation, but it means to learn or to improve on a bad habit. If someone keeps making the same mistake and you have advised them to change, to become better, and they just aren't able to, then that's when you would use this line. Tum kabhi nahi sudrogi. Tum kabhi nahi sudrogi. And of course, that's said to a woman. But to my friend, I would say, well, I will say, Tum kabhi nahi sudroge.
Exactly. So instead of sudro, I actually had the word badlo, as in tum kabhi nahi badlogi. And the verb badalna means to change. So to a woman, you could either say tum kabhi nahi sudrogi or tum kabhi nahi badlogi. And to a man, you would say tum kabhi nahi sudroge or tum kabhi nahi badloge. They're interchangeable.
Okay.
So I guess that does it for this episode.
Oh, no, wait. We never went over the meaning of मैं भी वक्त की पाबंद हूँ.
Oh, that's right. What does it mean?
So the phrase वक्त की पाबंद here means punctual. And we should already know मैं हूँ. It means I am. So to say I am punctual, I would say मैं वक्त की पाबंद हूँ. मैं वक्त की पाबंद हूँ. And if you wanted to say that you're punctual too, you would say, Shireen?
I would say मैं भी वक्त की पाबंद हूँ. मैं भी वक्त की पाबंद हूँ.
And how would a man say I am punctual?
Well, he would say मैं वक्त का पाबंद हूँ.
Well, I'm never gonna hear that from my friend, so good I learned it from you.
So actually another line that we should talk about is how to apologize, which I guess is not going to happen from your friend either. But so to say I'm sorry, you would say मैं माफी चाहती हूँ. मैं माफी चाहती हूँ. Which is, if you were to literally translate word for word, it would be I ask for your forgiveness. It's so, formal. There's no easy, sorry, or I can't think of a one word way or a short way to say sorry. So everyone listening, if you can think of a way to say sorry, I feel like, now English is so used everywhere. So people are just, instead of saying मैं माफी चाहती हूँ or मैं माफी चाहता हूँ, they just say sorry. But that's how you would say it.
Oh, well, that will be useful for me too in case. Not for my friend, but for me it will.
Right. Can you actually share with us how to say thank you in Italian?
Of course. Grazie. That's the way you say it in Italian. So thank you very much, Shireen. I'm really, really happy to be in this episode.
Hopefully you'll come back.
Well, why not? Maybe next time I will be a bit better than this time.
Oh, no, you were fantastic. But so maybe the next time we can joke about another aspect of your boyfriend.
Oh, well, I think there are so many. So whenever you want.
Cool. All right, so that does it for this episode. Thank you very much for joining us.
फिर मिलेंगे. खुदा हाफिज.